Good morning, students. I hope that all of you are very good. Students, I am continuing the same story, the expansion of British power. And today we are going to learn that how British won the Mysore kingdom and Maratha kingdoms, right? So the kingdoms of Mysore and Marathas were the strongest rivals of the British during the second half of 18th century. The British launched wars against both as those were hurdles in way of British. Wars with Mysore. Hyder Ali, who ruled over Mysore from 1761 to 1782, and Tipu Sultan, who ruled over Mysore from 1782 to 1799, were very powerful rulers of Mysore. Mysore controlled a large part of spice trade, and Tipu Sultan did not want the British to trade in this region. Between 1766 to 1799, 4 wars were fought between Mysore and British. In 4th Anglo-Mysore War, on 4th May 1799, Tipu Sultan, who was called Tiger of Mysore, died defending his capital Seringapatam. Students, Tipu Sultan was very strong ruler and very powerful, but he was defeated. Why? The Nizam of Hyderabad, the Marathas, they were already taking rising power of Tipu Sultan as a danger for their power. So this fear resulted in a triple alliance between the Marathas, the Nizam and British against Tipu in 1790. So their combined forces defeated Tipu Sultan and he was killed. And after the death of Tipu Sultan, his territories were annexed in British territories. Okay. Now next is wars with the Marathas. So the Marathas had become very powerful by the middle of 18th century. Under the leadership of Shivaji, they even challenged the Mughal Empire. But they received a setback when they were defeated by Afghan ruler Ahmad Shah Abdali in 3rd Battle of Panipat in 1761, which you have learnt in class 7th. The Marathas had become very weak after their defeat in Battle of Panipat. The Peshwa was the head of Maratha Confederacy. The British and Maratha fought 3 wars, and 3rd Anglo-Maratha War destroyed the Maratha Empire completely. The Peshwa was exiled to North India, and other Maratha chiefs were also forced to give up their territories and were no longer allowed to keep an army. We have learnt that how English East India Company controlled Marathas and Mysore kingdom. Now our next topic is expansion under Lord Wellesley. So students, in 1798, Lord Wellesley became the Governor General. He acquired territories through a system of subsidiary alliances and outright wars. So first of all, please learn the meaning of subsidiary alliance. What is subsidiary? You can say a business company that belongs to and is controlled by another larger company. And alliance, you can say an agreement between groups. Okay, so according to subsidiary alliance, actually subsidiary alliance was a very clear move by the British to take advantage of rivalries among Indian rulers. Actually what Britishers were doing, they were taking advantage of what? Of that Indians were not united. Indian rulers were not united. They were rivals of each other, and Britishers, they took advantage of this rivalry, right? So they asked the Indian rulers to accept the supremacy of British and sign a treaty with them, right? So it was a system, it was a method started by Lord Wellesley to subjugate. Subjugate means completely bring under their control Indian powers without spending money on fighting wars. According to this system, any Indian ruler who felt threatened by external attacks and internal revolts could take help from the English East India Company and enter into an alliance or partnership with them. The English would then take the responsibility of protecting the ruler. So, students, the Indian ruler who signed the subsidiary treaty or alliance had to agree to the some conditions, like that Indian ruler would not keep an army of his own. He would keep a British army, which was for his protection, right? And Indian ruler had to pay for its maintenance. The ruler could not, you can say that, enter into an alliance with another ruler or declaring war against another kingdom, right? He would have to take permission from British before doing any action. A British officer called the resident would be stationed at the ruler's court, and no official of any other European power would be allowed in the court. So, this alliance was very beneficial to the British, right? Why? How? The Britishers could maintain a large army now at the cost of Indian rulers, because according to this alliance, Indian rulers had to pay the cost of maintenance of army. They indirectly controlled the defense and foreign affairs of protected ally and could overthrow the ruler and annex his territories whenever they wished to do so. You see that now army, they had Indian rulers had British army, right? So they controlled the defense, right? Britishers controlled the defense of Indian rulers and foreign affairs also, as they are not allowed to fight with any other kingdom, or they are not allowed to enter into any other alliance. So they controlled the foreign affairs of Indian rulers also, who signed over this treaty, right? So also the resident, you can say the British official who was kept in ruler's court, right, could interfere in internal affairs of the kingdom to further interest of the company, as Indian ruler had to take permission from that resident who was in the court, the British official who was in the court, right? Next is Indian rulers. On the other side, Indian rulers who accepted subsidiary alliance became totally dependent on the British. He could no longer take decisions independently. The high cost of maintaining British army and the constant demands of the resident also drained the treasury. So students, next is the company signed the first subsidiary treaty with Nizam of Hyderabad in 1798. This is very important question for 1 mark, right? Then in 1801, the Nawab of Awadh also signed a subsidiary treaty. Peshwa Bajirao II signed a subsidiary treaty in 1802. Many chiefs of Rajputana also accepted the supremacy of the British and signed treaties. And with this, the British became the supreme political power. So today we have learnt about British controlled over Mysore, then Maratha kingdoms, and then like this we have learnt about subsidiary alliance, and this is very important, right? So in next video we are going to learn about next topic, which is British expansion from 1805 to 1848, right? So students, go through this video, try to understand. If you get any problem, you can ask me anytime. Okay, now have a good day. God bless you all, and complete the homework you got.